Sometimes there are notoriously bad years, and this includes in the realm of natural disasters, where, due to just random chance, an unusually high number of destructive events happen to occur during the same year. With this in mind, what years in recent human history have been the worst in terms of volcanoes and volcanic eruptions? The answer is 1902, and it's not even close to the other years in the top 10. It was such a bad volcano year that people essentially have forgotten that a volcanic eruption on St. Vincent killed more than 1,000 people because it was overshadowed by the far more destructive eruption of Pele, which killed more than 25,000 people a mere 100 miles away. And the climactic phase of those two deadly eruptions occurred a mere 2 days apart. And that year contained so many other deadly eruptions, including what is either the second or third largest explosive eruption of the entire 20th century. In fact, here is a timeline of the volcanic disasters in 1902. But before I expand more on other bad years in terms of volcano-related disasters, I want to elaborate on the method I used to generate my results. While written human history began in 3400 BCE, I will be limiting the criteria to only years since and including 1500. Why? Well, older records about volcanic eruptions are sparse, less reliable, and sometimes only give a broad range as to when a volcano erupted, since the text is discussing a past event many years later. 1500 marks the point at which I'm fairly confident that almost all major volcanic eruptions are those which cause fatalities were recorded by people. With this year range, I look for two things. 1. Any volcanic eruption or volcano-related disaster such as a gas release, landslide, or lahar which caused at least one fatality. I did this by using the database linked in this scientific paper. I then wrote down how many deadly events occurred in a specific year based on the minimum death toll each event had. Second, I look for the number of large explosive volcanic eruptions which occurred in a year based on a designated or estimated volcanic explosivity index. I created by year tallies for the number of eruptions assigned at least a 3, 4, or 5 on the 0 to 9 volcanic explosivity index. While eruptions assigned a 3 tend to occur multiple times a year, those assigned a 4 tend to occur about once a year, and those assigned a 5 or larger about once every 12 years. Thus, only 2 years since 1500 saw multiple eruptions assign a volcanic explosivity index of a 5 or higher, 1640 and 1991. With that in mind, here are the full results, with these being the 10 worst volcano disaster years with at least 2 distinct deadly events since 1500. You might note that only one of the 2 years with 2 VEI5 or larger eruptions, representing eruptions about the size of the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens or larger, made the top 10. The reason for this is simple: location. Only one of the 2 Plinian or ultra-Plinian eruptions in 1991 occurred in a densely populated area, Mount Pinatubo, while the eruption of Mount Hudson occurred in a sparsely populated region. Meanwhile, in 1640, the major eruptions of Mount Parker and Komagatake both occurred in densely populated regions, causing a high number of fatalities. And in the case of 1640, there was a third eruption which caused far more fatalities, specifically the eruption of Tungurahua in Ecuador, which completely wiped out the town of Cacha, population 5,000. 1888 was the year of the debris avalanche as 2 major collapses of a volcano's edifice occurred. First, there was the collapse of most of the Ritter Island volcano in Papua New Guinea into the sea, generating a widespread tsunami which killed more than 1,000. Then, about 4 months later, part of the north flank of the Bandai volcano in Japan collapsed and generated a debris avalanche in association with a very large phreatic eruption. 1979 was notable for having 7 deadly volcanic incidents, the most lethal of which was a large landslide at the Aileron volcano unrelated to an eruption which generated a tsunami. I hope that you found this video informative. If you would like to request a specific video topic, please leave a comment below. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube for supporting my work.